Australian security expert has said, "The drums of war are beating, as tensions between Australia and China soar to new heights as fear rises of massive war." One of the Australian federal government's top national security officials and Professor of National Security at the Australian National University told Australian Today programme that the «drums of war are beating closer» to Australia as China ramps up military presence in the South China Sea. Professor John Blaxland explained how the Chinese Navy, Air Force, Army and Space Force have been growing at exponential rates. And he issued a grave warning that Aussies have had their eye off a real growing threat for a number of years. The professor said how the drums of war are beating closer, adding it is chilling but it is sobering. He said, "It speaks to a phenomenon that we in Australia have kind of been struggling to head our heads around." Professor Blaxland went on to explain how between China and Australia, we've seen competition and contestation emerge, we've seen cyber attacks, we've seen foreign direct interference, we've seen anti-satellite attacks. The defense expert added, "Nothing to see here, right? The Chinese Navy, Air Force, Army, Space Force have been growing at exponential rates." The Australian professor went on to highlight, "Now when intelligence analysts look at this kind of problem they think, well, what are the key fundamental components? You've got the capability and you've got intention. Capability is going up very high and the intention, well, the rhetoric is getting pretty beauty spicy." Professor Blaxland added, "What we are seeing, therefore, is inside government bureaucracy a recognition that the stakes are getting higher, and things are being seen in more sober terms." And in a concluding statement, the defense expert issued a stark warning of the state of Australia's military capabilities in light of China's. "We've had a post-Cold War era of 30-odd years or so where everything is hunky-dory with nothing to worry about, and now we've got a boutique defense force." Earlier today China warned Australia to «stop meddling» in its internal affairs and demanded the Aussies support the annexing of Taiwan amid an ongoing trade war between the countries. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said, "Taiwan is an inalienable part of China's territory, and the Taiwan issue is purely China's internal affairs that involves China's core interests and allows no foreign interference. China must and will be reunified. We are willing to do our utmost to strive for the prospect of peaceful reunification, but will never leave any room for any forms of Taiwan independence, secessionist activities. We hope the Australian side can avoid sending any wrong signal to Taiwan independence forces, and take more actions that is conducive to peace and stability across the strait and for China-Australia relations." The news comes as yesterday a former U.S. Navy captain demanded a Western Allied patrol group were immediately dispatched to the South China Sea, after China launched a brand new 40,000 tons assault ship which is the largest in the world. The Hainan 31 is China's first Type 075 amphibious assault ship capable of transporting almost the whole of the Chinese Marine Corps. It can carry 30 helicopters, and hundreds of troops, has a full-length flight deck for helicopter operations, and features a well deck, where hovercraft and armored amphibious assault vehicles can disembark from inside of the ship to launch an attack. In a stern statement, Captain Carl Schuster said, "Combined Vietnamese and Philippine Coast Guard patrols in the area of Julian Felipe Reef will deter any further aggression there. I also think if you were to invite the U.S. coast to go with you that would send a very strong signal as well."